Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. So, the first news that we are having today on the discussion table is new parliament to host session from September 19. More than 3 months after the new parliament house has been inaugurated, members of parliament will move into the building on Tuesday, the second day of the special session. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi, he informed the floor leaders of various political parties about the move at an all-party summit. It's a meeting convened by the government on the evening of the special session of Parliament, which is to be held between September 18 and 22. 51 leaders from 34 parties joined the all-party meeting. The government said that 8 bills, 4 of which already listed, would come up during the session. The Chief Election Commissioner and the other election commissioners' appointment, condition, service and term of office bill 2023 is unlikely to be taken up for the discussion during the all-party meeting. A few political party leaders came up with their agendas. One of them is Derek O'Brien. He is the Trinamool Congress Rajya Sabha floor leader. He said during the discussion, still no full agenda for the session. There is a sinister line in the Parliament Bulletin, which was released on September 13, says that statement not to be taken as exhaustive. Government put this statement there. Statement not to be taken as exhaustive. So they didn't show up the list of the agendas or the topics to be taken up for the discussion, especially the bills. So the opposition leaders are trying to get on the nerve of the government to get these bills listed before the session gets started. Even in the all-party meet, we saw that there were only 4 women representatives and more than 50 men. It's a shame that women who make up 50% of our population have such little political representation, said Pinaki Mishra of Biju Janata Dal, which has been the vanguard of demanding the passage of Women's Reservation Bill. This bill is likely to be taken for the discussion during the special parliamentary session. Many leaders also expressed disappointment at the late invites for the flag hoisting function at the new parliament. Others said the invitation was totally in Hindi. So it's another issue in itself. The Communist Party of India, the Marxist one, the members also complained that government had no arrangement for the government did not make any arrangements for the seats provided to the opposition party leaders at the event, since chairs were reserved only for the ministers. Also during the beginning of the meeting, National Conference leader Farooq Abdullah suggested that parliamentarians must pay tribute to the officers who have been killed in an ongoing encounter with militants in Anantnag in southern Kashmir. A minute of silence was observed at the end of the meeting for the slain officers. Mr. Naidu, CM of Andhra Pradesh, he's from Telugu Desam Party, remarked that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had spoken in 2014 of fast-tracking criminal cases against the legislators, adding that there seems to be no progress on that front. Mr. Naidu said there have been 11 CBI cases, 7 ED cases and 11 other cases which are pending on the bench of legislators, and still he continues in the chair. He refers to our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. Mr. Naidu also flagged the recent arrest of TDP President Chandrababu Naidu, which is controversial in itself, by the state police. He asked the union government to intervene, saying that democracy is in peril in the state. What finally provoked Mr. Reddy, the YSR Congress leader, was Mr. Naidu's comment that tomorrow even Lalit Modi would come up and aspire to become the chief minister of the state. So that's a different topic in its own essence. The opposition parties have also demanded that Aam Aadmi parties, 2 Rajya Sabha MPs, and 1 Lok Sabha MP who have been suspended indefinitely must be reinstated without any further delay. Now, the issue that has not been taken up by the government for this new parliamentary session, which is the Chief Election Commissioner and the other election commissioner appointment, condition of service and term of office bill 2023, it hasn't been taken up by the government for discussion. So originally the decision came from Supreme Court on March, in the month of March, only this year. The verdict on the appointment of Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner has brought a significant change to the process of appointing election commissioners, the SC said. Should I continue or what? Yeah. As per the current process, the law minister suggests a pool of suitable candidates to the Prime Minister for consideration, and the President of India makes the appointment on the advice of Prime Minister of India. So this was the whole process that had been followed up for decades after the independence. But now, in 2014, not now actually, in 2014, a public litigation was filed challenging the constitutional validity of this appointment of election commissioner. Okay, because the Prime Minister is suggesting the names and the President is appointing these election commissioners at the office. So the higher authorities, there were different opinions about this issue, and they have the public litigation finally in public litigation finally in 2018, 2018, a 2-judge bench of the Supreme Court referred the case to a larger bench, as it is required a close examination was said in that statement of Article 324 of the Constitution. Here we need to understand what that article has in it, because for the essence of this issue that has not been taken up for the discussion, because the Parliament is putting the issue on the SC, and the SC is saying that Parliament is the one which should make the law about it. So the court found that a golden thread runs through the proceedings of the Constituent Assembly, debates on the provision and the deliberate addition of the words subject to the provisions of any law made in that behalf by Parliament. This statement is particularly has been the center of discussion for 3 or 4 months since the judgment came on in March. So the verdict states that the appointment of chief election commissioners and the other ECs, election commissioners, made by President on the advice of committee which would consist of Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of India, the leader of opposition of the Lok Sabha, and the Chief Justice of India. However, this will be subject to any law to be made by Parliament of India. Now the thing is, the SC has put this case, put the verdict on the shoulders of the Parliament leaders in the Parliament. So the leaders in the Parliament have to make any law regarding this. Okay, their appointment and the service, the years of service, the terms. The government has asked the court to exhibit judicial restraint. It argued that in the absence of such a law, because the SC is not responsible to make laws, that is why they have said that this verdict will be followed according to any law to be made by Parliament only. This is the statement that has been published in that verdict. So the Parliament has argued that in the absence of any such law, the President has the constitutional power and maintain a delicate balance on the separation of powers. The ruling cities past instances of the court stepping in to fill a gap in the law, including there have been cases like when the Vishaka guidelines, they had a few issues with that. The SC took the charge and they re-edited all those guidelines. They asked the government, they asked the legislators to basically re-edit all those guidelines, and then the Supreme Court stepped into that, along with the interpretation of process of appointing judges. Even what we have seen in the past months, that the government of India is doing, they are using those retired governors, they are using the retired judges of the Supreme Court and putting them as governors in the states. So this has been one of the major issue for this appointments. The court made a ruling that was that the process of removal. Now here comes the fact that why Article 324 has been has been a significant topic. So according to the Constitution, the Chief Election Commissioner can be removed through a process similar to judge's removal. Okay, with the majority of both of the houses on the ground of proven incapacity or misbehavior. Although there may be equality between Chief Election Commissioner and the election commissioners, because now there are separate benches for election commissioners. Okay, there is a Chief Election Commissioner and there will be other election commissioners as well. So according to this Article 324, which has been taken for consideration, now this Article 324 states that, I'm just going to take up this. Article 324 provided that the Chief Election Commissioner shall not be removed from his office except in like manner on the like grounds as a judge of the Supreme Court, and the condition of service of the Chief Election Commissioner shall not be varied to his disadvantage after his appointment. So this would be very exciting to see where this judgment goes on in the next, because this would be this would get more heated up in the coming months. So thanks for joining us. Now we'll leave you. Thanks. Is it? What was the class for, huh?